What is going on, Evil Shredders? This is Nick. Today I want to talk about gaining muscle as a hard gainer, and I wanted to show you a photo of my before and after. I didn't think I was able to gain muscle, but I did, and here is why. 1. I stuck to a nutrition plan. Number 2, you need to have a solid training workout routine. Our third component, compound lifts. You need to be utilizing compound lifts. And then finally, sleep. You need to be able to make sure that you're getting at least between 7 and 9 hours sleep every night. And the other final important thing to remember is that when you're doing your compound lifts, you need to go to failure. So I'll talk a little bit about my past and my build up to where I am today. You'll notice that I'm not exactly a massive guy. I'm still pretty skinny, but I am undergoing a process where I'm building a little bit of muscle, and I want to share that experience with you as well, especially if you're a hard gainer. It is difficult mentally and physically because you have this mindset, you're stuck with this mindset where you just can't build muscle. You're too skinny, you're too small, and they'll just tell you to eat more. But this is not necessarily a good strategy because you don't have any idea of how much protein, carbs, or fat you're getting into your diet. If you're just eating recklessly, then you might find that actually you're going to go the other way, and you put a tremendous amount of fat on. And if that's not your goal, then obviously that's not a direction you want to go in. If that is your goal, then fair enough. You can go through that dirty bulking phase if you want to, okay? So if you're looking to put on lean muscle, it's important to track your nutrition, all right? So with my experiences with this, I started in January of 2017. I started taking my nutrition seriously. I started using MyFitnessPal to track my intake. So moving on to the exercises I was doing to start with, like I said earlier, I was just using machines in the gym to utilize compound lifts. So before I learned how to chest press properly, before I learned how to military press or shoulder press, I was using the machines in the gym. They're a lot safer if you don't really know the technique. You can control the range of motion a lot easier because it's fixed, okay? I think this is important as a beginner lifter that you do utilize the machines first before you move on to the barbells and the dumbbells. Another aspect I wanted to talk about with my experiences is my engagement with progressive overload. I've talked about progressive overload before, but I will just quickly brief over that again. Progressive overload is simply increasing the amount of weight or number of reps to a specific exercise every couple weeks, or even every week or every month, in order to increase your strength over time and size over time. Okay, so say that you're doing a chest press exercise and you have 30 kilograms loaded on the dumbbell. You're performing 3 sets of 8 reps, let's say, and your goal therefore is to either increase your rep range with the same weight the next time you perform that exercise, or you increase the weight entirely and do the same number of reps. So over time, you'll incrementally increase the amount that your body's able to lift, okay? Now, unfortunately, with progressive overload, and I've learned this the hard way, and it's something I'm still experiencing to this day, that progressive overload doesn't work linearly. So what I mean by this is that it's not something you're able to increase every week or even every couple weeks. You will find that it dips, or you stay the same as the weeks go by. I found this, in fact, with my squat. I've found that I'm not able to lift or squat as much as I was a few months ago. It can feel a bit rubbish, to be honest. You feel like you're not getting as stronger. In fact, you feel like you're getting weaker, which is the opposite of what you're trying to do this whole time. So you need to try and remember that it doesn't work linearly. You don't necessarily increase the amount of reps and weight every week. It just doesn't. Your body doesn't work like that. You might find that from time to time you'll dip, or you'll stay exactly the same and you're not able to lift any heavier. But on the long term, your goal is to increase the number of reps or weight of a given exercise. Okay, this is progressive overload, and this is something that I've learned that I struggle with. Although I'm using progressive overload as my primary technique to gain muscle and strength, it can be a bit demoralizing if you're not able to lift as heavy as you did a few weeks back or whatever. So just keep that in mind, that it doesn't necessarily work linearly. You might find that you will get weaker or stronger, but over a period. But the overall goal in the long term is to have that incremental incline in your performance. Okay. So another aspect I wanted to talk about is what lifters can expect in their results. Now, I don't want to make you feel bad at all, but I will tell you how it is based on my experiences, and that is, it takes a long time. Okay, there are no shortcuts unless you're going into steroids. If you want to build naturally, it will take a long time. Okay, but don't let this be off-putting to you. I know that everyone wants to gain muscle, they want to get bigger and whatever, but it will come with time, and just remember that your results, your hard work over time will show, and you will feel better for it in the long term. Okay, I know it sucks that you want to build muscle quickly, but there's no quick way about it. If you want to undergo this fitness journey, if you want to get stronger, if you want to build muscle, you have to realize that it takes a long time. Okay, it takes years of constant practice, and this obviously can be demoralizing because you have to put the effort in, and that effort has to show for a long period of time. Okay, so like I said, with going to failure, it's not easy going to failure. It's very hard. It's a lot easier said than done. You will go through your workout and find that those last few reps are really difficult. Like, they are not easy. You really have to mentally, not just physically, but mentally push yourself to get those reps done, so then you can't physically lift the weights anymore. And this over time it's hard to stay motivated to put yourself through that stress. Okay, but if you do stick with it, the results will show. So this is something I've learned. There is no shortcuts, but if it's something you really want to do, then you will stick with it. Okay, that's the one thing to remember. If you really want to build muscle, if it's something you're really passionate about doing, then you will stick with it, and therefore you will then have the results in the long run. Just remember, you will get bigger. Okay, so in the meantime, what can you do? So like I said earlier, just remember to have a solid nutrition plan based on your body type and goals, to have a solid training program that's also developed either by you or by a personal trainer, and as long as you get plenty of sleep, hydration, and that you're putting the effort in, you're going to failure with every workout. Okay, so as long as you have these in mind and you stick to these components, then you will build that muscle. Okay, so that's the one thing to take away from this video, if anything. Okay, just stick to those 5 things and you will see the results. That's all you can do in the present. Okay, and enjoy the process. Okay, that's the final point I want to explain to you. It's a process. Enjoy it. I know it takes ages, but enjoy the journey. Like, you're here in the long run, you might as well enjoy it. Get used to putting yourself through hell in the gym. Like, that's what I have. That's what I've been doing now. Get used to it. Enjoy it. Don't survive the gym, or don't survive the storm, ride the storm. That's what I say. It's a bit cringy, but don't survive the storm, ride the storm. Enjoy the storm. It's all part of the fun. It's all part of the hard work that will, in the long run, go towards your success, your personal success. It will build your confidence. It will do so many things other than just building muscle. Okay, it's built my confidence. I would never have been able to sit in front of a camera and talk to you guys this time a couple years ago, okay? So it will build your confidence, it will build your character, as well as obviously what you're primarily focusing on, building the muscle. It will change your body. So it will have all these positive effects on you in the long run, but again, these are things that you can't build overnight or over the next month or so. This is why I believe there are no shortcuts to muscle building, okay? So just keep that in mind. Thanks very much for watching, and see you guys in the near future. See ya.